Okay, I want to go over a few things that about the camera, just some parts of the camera. And I am going to start with the camera body. I'm going to take off the lens so you can see that separately. This is the camera body. It has a viewing screen right there. It has a place where you put the lens. There's a mirror there. That's something you should never touch. And then it has an on and off button. The lens is another part. The lens is what focuses the image onto the recording surface. Has some computer stuff, some connections for the lens to talk to the body and the body to the lens. Then it has a couple of buttons. It has an autofocus button and a stabilizer button. Stabilizer just makes it so the image looks more stable when you take it, and you can turn those on and or off. And the autofocus, you can turn it on or off if you want to focus it on your own. I'm going to put the lens on the camera body. I would recommend that you not take the lens on or off. Notice that white mark right there and that white mark right there. I'm going to match those up, and then I'm going to just click it into place. Please don't touch the lens with your finger, and don't clean it with a regular cleaner. You use a lens solution and a super soft lens paper. Now I'm going to show you a few things about the camera. This is the on button, so you flip that on. Turns it on, it gives you some information right there. This particular camera, you don't get to do a preview of what you're seeing right here, unless you do that. That's the set button that I pressed to do that. Then the next thing, once you turn it on, if you want to take a picture, the button that you take the picture with has two levels of pressing. The first level, notice how it beeps. That's for setting the focus. If you have it on autofocus, which I do have it on AF, that focuses whatever it's looking at. Then I hold it down a little longer, and it takes a picture. Then you can view the picture right here. Right now you're not able to view it very well because it's in that little teeny window right there. So I'm going to click the play button right there, which lets you review. It's called the review button, but it looks like a play button. I'm going to click display a couple times so it shows the picture in full mode. Now you can see that picture. If I want to toggle from the pictures I took, I press this button. That goes backwards to show previous pictures. If I go forward, it shows the pictures that I took later in sequence. These buttons are for other uses, which we're not going to worry about right now. If I want to delete a picture, I press on the garbage can button right there. Press that once, and then I go to erase, and then hit set, and it erases that picture forever. If I want to see the settings that I used to take the picture, notice I click display twice. It shows this thing called a histogram. That's a graph. Has the picture right here, then it gives all the information about it. I took it at 1/30th of a second at 4:5. That's the f-stop. That's how wide open the iris was on the lens. The iris works like your pupil. Your iris opens your pupil wider, closer, or down, depending on how much light there is. I'm sure you've noticed that. Then it has some other information. There are 126 images on the storage that I have in there. It has an ISO of 200. Right here. So that's all I'm going to tell about that right now. Then I'm going to move you to the mode wheel. This tells you the setting that you're going to use for your camera. I'm not going to worry about ADEP right now, but we do have a manual setting. That's where you set all the settings for the camera, the ISO, the shutter speed, and the f-stop. On aperture value or aperture priority, you decide the f-stop. That's how open the iris is, whether it's open or closed. And then the camera figures out the shutter speed and the ISO. Time value or shutter speed priority, you set the shutter speed, and then the camera sets the f-stop and the ISO. Program sets it all manually, and you can tell the flash to be on or off yourself. And then this is full automatic, where it decides whether the flash is on or off. And then we have a portrait mode right there with the person, landscape, close-up or macro mode for taking up close shots. This is sports, and this is a backlight. If there's a light behind somebody, that's a difficult light situation. If you don't know how to do that on your own, if you don't know how to do it manually, this is a good setting for a backlight situation. And that's all I'm telling you right now. You will have a chance to practice these using these settings on the camera.